Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram advertisements, is like a cheat code for your business. The reason is because Facebook and Instagram have an active user base of 3 billion people each month. It is a lot easier to get the people that will actually buy from you. Here is the ad manager. If you look up here, you got campaigns, ad sets, and ads. The ad sets is what you can do with the targeting. So you can have multiple ads in an ad set, and then you can have a multiple ad sets in a campaign. So all the ad set will have different targeting options so you can see which one performs the best. Now, if you want to create a campaign, you click up here to the create button. So if you see here, you got the campaign objectives, you got awareness, traffic, engagement, leads, app promotion, sales. Awareness. See, awareness is for pretty much getting your brand name out there. And see, I don't really recommend this one. I'll tell you the one that I do recommend in a minute. Traffic is for sending people to your website. I also don't really recommend this one. Engagement is for if you're doing, like, say you're running a giveaway on your Instagram profile, you could use this as an engagement. Leads. So this is what I normally use all the time. It is the same as awareness and traffic. So if you want to, you can get your brand name out there by advertising with the leads. And also you can get people to come to your website through leads, because you can get them to click on a button and it will send them to your website. App promotion is something I haven't really messed around with that much, but if you're running a mobile app or something, this is what you would be running for those ads. And sales, this is for drop shipping and e-commerce. If you're actually trying to sell something through Meta, then this is what your campaign would be. I'm going to click leads for this one. Now here you've got tailored lead campaign and manual lead campaign. Tailored lead campaigns gets rid of a lot of settings, so you can't really do as much targeting, can't really have as much control over than in the manual leads campaign. They've got this tailored lead campaign so more people are able to advertise, because not many people know about marketing, so they try to simplify it as much as they can so they can get more money. There is another way, kind of like tailored lead campaigns, where it's called boosting, where you boost a post that you've posted on Instagram or Facebook. Let's take an example that you're a gardener and you've posted a new job that you've just done for a flower bed, let's say. You can put in a budget and it will give you a number of people that it will show to. So then it's kind of like advertising, but super dumbed down, and like a child could easily understand it. But for us, we'll be clicking manual lead campaign. Okay, now you will get this. I'm going to quickly name this example. Now, see, if you look here, you got categories. If your ad is about any of these down here, you will have to say a yes for that. Just so if you don't do that, then your ad account could get banned. So I'll just do that. And also you can click here as well to do it as well. The buying type, I wouldn't mess with that. That's fine. And the lead objective is the thing that we clicked before. Advantage campaign budget. So normally in the campaigns, you would set the budget at the ad set level. So you would set the daily budget for each ad set. Now here you can do it for the whole entire campaign. Now, I've messed around with this a little bit. I don't recommend it. I'll tell you why. If you're in the ad set and you put, let's say you've got 3 ad sets and you set them all at $10 a day for each one. It will spend $10 a day for the ad set, but if you were to do it at the campaign level, it would spend $30 a day, but it wouldn't do it evenly. It will do it on the one that they think will perform the best. Now you might be like, yeah, but that's a good thing though. With marketing, you want to be testing. So it's called A/B testing. If you can look down here, A/B testing is, so you got one ad and a different, like an ad that's exactly the same, but you've changed up the heading or something you're going to be testing. Maybe it could be the image. We'll get into this in a little bit as well. But think of it, you got this ad and this ad. This ad is shown to this group over here, and this ad is shown over to this group over here. Now to tell which ad is performing the best, you look at the analytics, and whichever one has the best analytics out of it, well, that is a winner, and that's the one that you would be running on all your ads. So it's a bit hard to test when it's not really an even split of budget, because you won't really have a fair test. Now this A/B test is if you're trying to A/B test campaigns. See, I wouldn't be doing this one, this A/B test, I wouldn't do it at the campaign level if you're trying to test your ads. This is just for campaigns. Now, if we move into the ad sets, once again, you can edit it what you want. Let's say landscapers, and I'll put in brackets what I've targeted for this ad set. So I would go job, for instance. Now, if you look here under the conversion location, so under each ad, there is a button that when they click it, you can send them to wherever you're trying to send them. If you click here, you can send them to your website. This one, you can send them to website, or you can get them to call you. Instant forms is you create a form, you put in some questions, and then they fill out their form, and then you can get back to them, or you can send them to your website after that. We'll get into instant forms later. This is the one that I normally use for ads that I run, because I just ask them as simple questions like what's their phone number, what's their name, any information that I really need before I send the leads over to a client for them to follow up and get all the information. The less questions they answer, the more likely you are to get a conversion, because the longer time they have to think, do I really need this, is the more people that will end up leaving. Messenger, if you were to do this one, it would send them to a chat kind of thing, and they can message you. Instant format messenger, that's just a combination of both these. This one just sends them to your Instagram. Calls, like I said before, and app, it will just send them to an app. But app, you wouldn't be doing this through the leads, you'd be doing it through the other objective where it's app, like I showed before. Yep, this is just your Facebook page. Performance goals, I mean, you can change these if you want to, depending on what you want to be doing. I don't really mess with cost per result, to be honest. It's an optional thing. Now, dynamic creative. I don't really turn on dynamic creative because it's harder to A/B test. It means that you can do multiple headlines and text and stuff like that. So I don't really mess with that. If I wanted to try different text and stuff, I'd be doing it in another ad when I will be testing it to see which one performs best. Daily budget, that just depends on what you want to do and what you will spend. I wouldn't really mess around with a start date unless you're going to be starting them all in a week or so, or maybe a day. If you're just going to have like an actual start date, then you can use it, but I don't really mess around with that because I just post them when I'm done. See, with the end date, this is kind of a little secret that the marketers know. Meta on purposely makes your ads perform worse because you've set an end date. It's kind of a little hard to see, and there's a big debate in the marketing world about if it's true or not. Me, I just don't do an end date. If you are going to have an end date, I recommend just logging on and turning it off instead of having this so they perform better. So if you look here, it says start date is in the past. See, this doesn't really matter. If you just post the ad, it will post anyway. Okay, you've got schedule budget increases. This is for, let's say you want to increase your budget on a Saturday or a Sunday or something, maybe around Christmas time or something. You can do that. I don't really mess around with that. Okay, here is where the good stuff is. The audience, you got locations. You can do Australia. Let's go States, for example. But let's say you don't want to target a whole country. Okay, we can get rid of that. We'll go, for example, we'll go Sydney. And you can target a whole, see this whole circle here? That is your targeting location, because if you look up here, you've got a kilometer distance or miles, depending on wherever you are in the world. But you can set it smaller, bigger, and anyone in this circle here, they will be getting your ads. The people outside, like over here, will not be getting your ads. Just so you know that the people that are actually responding to your ads and actually looking at them, they will be nearby, and you can actually service them if you have a limit of kilometers that you go or mile. I guess you can turn this on. This is kind of a new feature. I don't see anything bad by turning it on. See, if you see custom audiences here, this is something we'll go into in a little bit. And minimum age, let's say you're running a ad for an alcohol company or something, and the minimum age of drinking is like 21, and then you can put this up to 21. And then people under won't get it. Here we go. This is the audience targeting. Now, if you see, I put the minimum age up. So normally it's 18 if you take a look over here. Normally it would be 18 to 65, but because I turn it up, it doesn't let me go down any further. So let's say your audience is from 50 to up to 50 and 25, for example. People under that and over that, they won't be targeted. And let's say you've got only men, they're the only people that you need to target, or it's something specifically for them, then you can do that, get rid of them. Let's say you were targeting landscaping. For an example, see now if you look here, you got employers, job titles, field of studies, and interest. And if you look under them, you've got the sizes here as well. See, this one is big, this one is really small. I wouldn't really target that one, especially because field of studies is just people that are learning landscaping in school, so they wouldn't really be good if you're trying to target landscapers. But if you're trying to target people that are learning to be landscapers, then you do that. I would prefer to do a bigger size, something like interests, just so you got more of a chance to target people that actually would be good fit for you. Let's say you want to market to business owners, so you can see, if you look, you got employees, behaviors, so you could do small business owners, and that's going off the behavior, so they are more likely to be small business owners. So now these two people that are getting targeted are small business owners and flooring. Now you can narrow it down a little bit more, so you could also put them in here so they also have to match. And let's say, here's another thing you could do. You could go Facebook page admin. So then you know the people that own that page are the actual business owners. So there you can use those. This is just some more policy stuff. So if it's talking about you're doing like credit cards, mortgage brokers, stuff like that, you got to turn that on. Otherwise your account could get banned. And placements, see, this is something that I don't really mess around with that often. If you need to, you got a block list, you can put that in. You can put it in if you need it, but I don't really use it that often. If you look over the side here, you got leads, reach, and the audience gives you all detail. See, estimated daily results, that is off the ad budget that I've set. And also it says our targeting is pretty broad, but our audience size is that. So that is all right depending on what radius you've targeted. Okay, now we're into the ads level. Once again, I would name it something to do with the ads. I'd normally do, if I'm doing testing, I'd name it like ad 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that, so I can tell which tests have done the best. Partnership ads, this is if you're doing, like it says here, with creators, brands, or other businesses. You don't really do that often in marketing, but if you are doing a partnership ad, turn that on. Okay, here in the ad setup, you got single image or video or carousel. This one here is pretty self-explanatory. But carousel, this is if you're going to post more than one image on an ad. So you press carousel, put in the multiple images, and then people can click the arrows on the ad to go scroll through them. Okay, since I clicked form, I've got this here, and I've also got the forms that I've made down here. You click one of them and that will be the one that you run. You can see down here it says form. That's because I haven't really written anything else down. But when they click this sign up button here, which you can change later, it would send them to the form that I've got clicked here. This is where you would set up your CRM if you're going to be doing anything like that. Now here is where you get into, if you see these three, these are the images. I just click into media. You can turn it into a video if you're going to be running a video. These are some of the images that I've run for ads before. Let's take this retaining wall, for example. This is the crop option. See how you got this gray here? That pretty much means that will be showing in the ad, so it's not full. See, normally you'd be able to click 1 to 1, but it's because it's so small. If it crops to that, there would be not much of an image. And here as well, because it's so long, there's not really much of an image. You can't really stretch it any further. But see, this one is a right size to crop, and I can also move it up and down depending on what I want to. Or here was the original one. See how it's got cropped here, but it is a good size, so it can be cropped. So this is an example one. See, I would actually get better images that fit properly, but just for a quick example to understand what I'm doing, I'll just go with this one. These are the text. This is the one that people will see. Headline will be under the image. The description will show up depending on where your ad is showing up and what format it is in. See, here is the call to action. Like I showed the sign up before, you can also change it to see whatever you want. Let's go apply now for an example. And here I will write up some. Okay, if you can see up here, I've quickly wrote something down. There's more below, but you can't really see it. See here, this is what we call the qualifying question. Let's say someone's scrolling and your ad pops up. Let's say they're not looking for a retaining wall. They will just keep scrolling. So then the people that have actually filled out the form, gone to your website or called, or whatever you're sending them to, you know that they are actually qualified and more likely to pay you. This is the ad copy down below. This is just convincing them even more why they should go for you, why they need it, stuff like that. And if you go down below, here is the call to action here. Now we call it the call to action because you are telling someone what to do, so they don't get as confused, and you got more people that fill out the form. See, if you look here, it says click to apply now. And if we scroll down to here, this is where I've got the call to action button here. This is what it says, apply now. I'm telling them to do something. So then we get more people to actually fill out the form, call us, go through the website. Okay, now if we move on to the next one. This is AI that Meta has put in. I don't use this at all because if you can see in a second, you'll be able to tell why. Because this was a retaining wall ad, and if you look here, no retaining wall, no retaining wall. Over here is the retaining wall, but it's at the top. No retaining wall, no retaining wall, no retaining wall. I mean stairs, but this has got nothing to do with my image from before. And you can clearly tell this is AI. I've had a couple times, I was doing an ad for tattoos where there was a tattooed dude. The AI just chucked him into a forest. I'm like, that makes no sense. Why would he be there? And also there was this dude doing a HVAC system repair that I did an ad for. And it put him doing the repair in the air when it was attached to nothing. So I don't mess with this stuff. It doesn't really that good, but sure, you can use it if you want to. Don't think it would perform as well though. This stuff here I don't mess with. Now if we go over to the other stuff here, I don't mess with this stuff either. I always turn it off. The music's alright, but I normally turn it off anyway. And here, if you look at the text improvements, what this does, it's a little bit secretive, but if you look over here, how it's got the top one here, would have one here, and the description like I showed before. What it does is it mixes them up, so your description could be all the way up here, and this could be here. It messes it all up, so it's all out of place. It's not really good. Meta makes it like, look, 79% of people use it. Well, most people don't know anything really about marketing. They try to convince you with that way you're actually just wasting your money. Okay, we shall click done. Now, if you look here, this is just the preview here. I haven't wrote anything in the headline, and this button here has changed. This is our qualifying question that you can see, but if they want to click see more, they can read the whole thing. Okay, if we scroll down, this is some AI stuff. Once again, I don't really use it, but you can click multiple, you can click up to 5 of them. I don't really mess with that, harder to A/B test, and it's also got the ones for headline as well. You can also put in the text in here. You didn't have to go through the way up here, but I was just doing in the image anyway, so I just went through and did it. This is all the image creatives, AI stuff that we said before, and here's some tracking stuff if you're going to be tracking website events, which for this one we won't really. You don't really need to mess with this stuff unless you're going to be tracking your website stuff, app events or offline events. You will need a Facebook Pixel if you want to turn these on. The Facebook Pixel is a little bit technical and a little bit hard to set up the first time you do it. I recommend watching over a video guide for it. See, for me, when I was trying to put it into my website, I tried multiple different things. It didn't really work. I had to download the actual Meta Pixel extension to my Google Chrome for me to actually do the pixel on my website. It was a little bit of a pain in the ass. If you want to create a form, one of these things up here, you can press here to create a form, but I'll go through the other way. See, if you go down to here, instant forms, you click on it. So it'll take you here. This is all the forms that I've got. Tells you lead count, download. You can boost the forms, which is like, it's like boosting your Instagram post or Facebook post, like I said before. I wouldn't really do that either. You click create form up here. Now you can duplicate an existing one or create a new one. I'll press create a new one. Over here, you got, if you want people to be more qualified, or more volume of people. I would normally go for more qualification. It's probably best because you're wasting less time on other people and you can spend that time actually doing work for the real people that would actually pay you. I will do manual here. I'll turn this stuff off. Here is the intros will be here, and under it will be this paragraph here. Let's just say, okay, you could use that as a example. This is something I quickly wrote up. Okay, now we go into the questions. There's two types of questions. There are these ones here that actually matter. So with these ones here, you can get sample phone number. If you need to, you can use city, street address, stuff like that, date of birth. And if you need anything, like if you're in one of these countries, you can ask for one of those. With these ones here, these ads, Meta automatically fills them out depending on what's on their profile. Sometimes the information can be old because people have got like 10-year-old Facebook accounts and stuff like that. So they might be using their old email that they don't use anymore, or their old phone number that they don't use anymore. Sometimes the information that you get could be old. So if you wanted to skip that, you could go into here. If you wanted to, you could do a multiple choice, short answer. These questions are ones that you can do any questions that you want, but they have to actually type it in themselves. Only problem with these ones here is there has to be one answer. So let's say full name, you can't get rid of, so you must have at least one contact information. So if you go, let's say we ask him what their business name is, just for an example. Now, if they scroll through up here, see how it's now here, that's the one they have to fill in. See, this is the one that I'm talking about over here. You can't get rid of a, see how it says at least one contact field. So you can't get rid of a contact field from here. They do go to this page. This is automatically filled out their phone number, and it could be the old one. And if it's the old one, people could end up changing it, but some people might not notice it's their old one and just click continue. Because I clicked the higher intent one, it shows them a review of what their stuff is they put in, and then they have to slide to submit. Normally, if I do the higher lead volume, then it wouldn't show this and it'll just take them straight to this thank you page. Now with the privacy policy, this is something you have to put in. No one really checks it because if you take a look, it's down here. You can set a customer's disclaimer if you want to. And you, like I said, here's the review screen, which is this one. This is you filling out the last form. You can change the headline, description. If you were to send them to your website, you could do that. Send them if you're running something to download, you could get them to download something or call the business, anything like that, depending on what your business needs. Now, once they've filled out the form, they'll go to this place called the lead center. Now, if you take a look, you've got the intake. This is all the people that has filled out the form. You can click on them and it will show you what they have filled out, and you click over here. Obviously, I'll have to blur this information because for privacy reasons, and I can click on more form reviews and it can show me the other questions that I was running, like the one that I came up with. Now you can change them down these stages if you want to. Like if I say these people are qualified, I can send them over here. Most likely these people here are qualified if you're doing the higher intent stuff. But if you're doing a intake lead form or something like that, and you've got a bunch of people, you can put them into qualified, the people that are qualified, and obviously the converted people, but you most likely would be following up with them from the information that you get from the form. Up here you can filter out what form you want. So let's say all these people are from this form that I've got up here, and I can select dates and stuff like that. See, now here I've clicked on the audience, what that was over here, and this is where you create the custom audiences. This is where you'd be doing stuff like if you already have customer information like their emails, stuff like that. If you've got your Facebook, if you've been running it different ads, you can retarget people, which we'll get into in a minute. You can also get leads to retarget who have been to your website. I'll click custom audience for now. See, this is the sources, all these stuff you can use. Let's say you are running a video ad. This is where you can target them. You can say people that have watched over 25%, 50% of the ad, you can retarget again. You can also target the people that have clicked onto your lead form. So let's click lead form. Anyone who's opened up this form, you can retarget them. Anyone opened but didn't submit, you can retarget them. Anyone who has opened and submitted, you can retarget them. Now you tick the lead form that you want. I'll quickly show you some that I've got in a minute. But here, if you look at the lookalike audiences, these are the custom audiences that we've created before. These are the 25 and 50 that I've created already. Click call to action. These are some stuff that you can do depending on the stuff that you said, like website visitor. Let's say website visitors, the people that will be targeted by this, not the exact same people that have been to my website, but people kind of like them. So same interests, stuff like that. Say the country we want to target is United States, and you want to make it at least 2 million people. See how it's 1% here, and if I target it up, 27 million people, you want to go all the way down to around 2 million. So let's take Australia. See how on 1% it is 200,000? Now I want it to be around 2 million. That is a good sweet spot for people. You don't want to go any more. Just as close as you can get to 2 million, that is the best. Now with these lookalike audience, what you can do is you can use them as ad audience targeting, like we did before when we target the radius of the people, like the kilometers. You saw that circle that was on the map. Also the city and the country. You can use this custom audiences as the targeting. I'll actually show you in what it can be used for. So what I use them for, if we go here to my warm audiences, I use them as retargeting. Retargeting basically means is once the people have seen it, they get retargeted again, because the more times they see your ad, the more likely to click through and fill out the form or go to your website or whatever you were doing. So if we look down here into the targeting, if you see how here I've put it in custom audiences, these are the people that I will be retargeting. If you look at custom audiences here, this is where the custom audiences are that I've done. Click call to action, opened and submitted the form, open and didn't submit, opened the form, and people who clicked the ad. See, these are the ones that are running for people to get retargeted because they have shown an interest in actually what I'm doing, and all the other stuff is the same. I will show you how to do an actual A/B test. Like we said before, but last time when I showed you how to do it, that was at the campaign level. This is how you actually do it. So we are in the ad set level, and in the ad set level, you can do multiple ads up to 50. So the 50 is the max, but you would never ever really get up there. I've only got to there once. So what you would do is create a bunch of ads to, depending on how many things you'll be targeting, and you'll be doing for each ad set that you have as well. With each ad, you'll be doing something different. So let's say for this instance, we'll be testing the qualifying question. Each one will have a different qualifying question. And whichever one performs the best out of the analytic will be the winner, obviously. This is the order that I would normally test stuff in. First off, I'd be testing the audience. So that would be in the ad set level up here. Then I'll be testing the qualifying question, then the copy, then the call to action, then the image, and then I'll be testing the headline, description. And if you want to, you can be doing some testing ad settings, but you don't really need to do that stuff if you just follow the stuff that I showed you. And then you might be like, but Liam, what do I do after I've done all those in order? Pretty simple. You just do it all over again, repeat that process. Now to see which one is performing the best, you take a look at the analytics. See, if we look over here in this one, this is the analytics, below this. So if you look here, these are the analytics. There is no analytics here because this is a draft. I haven't submitted it. But for this instance here, if you want to change it, which I wouldn't really use some of this stuff, this is what I recommend to have up. Yeah, this is just something I quickly just got up. The stuff before isn't normally what I run, but this is just simple, quick, easy. Now, there is another way to do this in more of a campaign level. So if we look up to here, there will be ad report. This little thing up here called ad reporting. Now if we click on this one here, you can set up a report for your campaigns where you can do pretty much the exact same thing, but it would be a bit bigger. You can do it either both ways, but so here we go. Here is a report that I've already made. You can just follow the instructions for the last one, but here it is pretty much. There's no data for this one for this day because this is a just example one, and this is the stuff that I normally run over here. Like I said, it's pretty much the same thing as before, but just at a bigger scale. If you're going through this whole video and you're like, marketing would be great for my business, but I'm still a little bit confused. Or if you're like, marketing would be great for my business, but I just don't really have the time, I'm caught up with my business. Or if you've tried marketing your business in the past and it hasn't really been that good results for you, if you're gonna be spending over $1,000 a month on marketing, what I will do is, first link down below will be a link to a contact form where you can fill out the form and I'll have a call with you. If you've done marketing in the past, I'll give you a free marketing analysis. If not, I'll be asking you questions to see if we're a good fit to do your marketing. Short-term pain for long-term gain.